I had an experience with the Klan. They came to my house.
Are you glad this thing's over?
I didn't even call the police. I wanted to, but I couldn't. My mother used to let me understand that I'm being raised in a hostile environment.
I know the difference of people laughing with me and people laughing at me.
I guess you said, I don't want your show anymore, and you took a hike.
Would you say you lost your mind, sort of?
Chappelle pulls the race card.
Everybody wants to know, why'd you walk away?
He could have filled up arenas, man. Crazy.
I said, yeah, I don't think I can do this, and I quit. And that was it. Have you ever had something happen that was so racist that you didn't even get mad? You were just like, God damn, that was racist. I had an experience with the Klan. They came to my house when I was little. It was real scary. They came in the middle of the night on horseback, burning cross on the sidewalk, beating on the door, all belligerent. Come on out, you black sons of bitches! See, me and my brother, we were like horrified. We were just hiding in the closet, peeking out. But my mother, this is a strong woman, my mother, she went right to the door and opened it and gave him candy. From a young age, I noticed people were treating me different. These kids were just so mean and evil, but I didn't understand why they would treat me different.
My mother used to let me understand the context that I was being raised in, that I'm being raised in a hostile environment that I have to tame. By the time I was 14 years old, I was in nightclubs, mastering an adult world. It was terrifying.
What made you get on stage at the age of 14?
The fear of death. When I was in high school, my freshman year of high school, almost 600 kids my age got murdered in Washington, D.C.
It's heavy, man, you know. That made a real big impression on me. That and the fact that D.C. is a very segregated city, especially at that time. Statistically speaking, to this day, there's not one poor white person in Washington. There's a lot of poor black people in Washington.
And my mother used to tell me this thing, I don't even know if you remember, but you said this to me more than once. You said, son, sometimes you have to be a lion so you can be the lamb you really are. And I told my mother, you can ask her, I said, Mom, I'm gonna make it all the way to the top of the socio-economic ladder. I'm a smart kid.
My dad takes me outside and he's like, listen, everybody wants to make it and you might not make it. And I said to my dad, well, that depends on what making it is, Dad. And he started laughing. He said, if you keep that attitude, I think you should go. He said, but name your price in the beginning. If it ever gets more expensive than the price you name, get out of there.
He was the hottest comedian in the country. Then he mysteriously disappeared. Why Dave Chappelle walked away from $50 million.
Nobody knew where you were going. Now, that sounds a little crazy.
I guess you said, I don't want your show anymore, and you took a hike.
It's one of the strangest and most controversial things to happen in the entertainment world. Everybody wants to know, why'd you walk away from $50 million? Would you say you lost your mind, sort of?
I get a call on my cell phone from Hollywood. They're like, that pilot you did for Fox, looks like they want to pick it up. And I went out and I sat with these people in this room. Yeah, Dave, we really like the show, but well, you know, we're thinking about the girl on the show. I think we should recast her, maybe. And they start using terms like universal appeal. Basically saying they want me to recast a girl with a white woman. I was doing sketches that were funny, but socially irresponsible. Like there's this one sketch we did that was about this pixie that would appear whenever racist things happens. Whenever someone make you feel like they calling you that N-word, but don't say it. But the pixie was in blackface because this was gonna be the visual personification of the N-word. But what I didn't consider is the way people use television is subjective. So then when I'm on the set and we're finally taping the sketch, somebody on the set that was white laughed in such a way, and it was the first time I'd ever gotten a laugh that I was uncomfortable with. I said, yeah, I don't think I can do this, and so I bounced, man. And that was it. As far as I was concerned, I was done with show business.
That was an irreconcilable moment for me, that I was in this very successful place, but
the emotional content of it didn't feel anything like what I imagined success should feel like. It just didn't feel right.
My house got robbed in New York. I didn't even call the police. I wanted to, but I couldn't. My crib is too nice. It's not that it's too nice, but it's too nice for me. You know how the police are in New York. Soon as I open the door, they'll be like, oh, he's still here. Open and shut case, Johnson. Apparently, this black guy broke in and hung up pictures of his family everywhere.
The hardest thing to do is to be true to yourself, especially when everybody's watching. This idea that what you do in your lifetime informs the generations that comes after you is something I keep thinking about, something that is so much bigger than just ourselves.
I've been gone for a very long time. Surprise, it's me.
Now he is back with a 3-part stand-up comedy special.
We're living in a time where there's got to be a little more cultural sensitivity. And even a guy like me that's just writing jokes.
This is a story that happened back in January of 2015 that involves Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle did an impromptu set, and he said a clearly privileged white girl shouts, "Life's hard, sorry about it," when he starts talking about police brutality. Joy Ellen Nicole came back and said, "I told her to leave," but Dave Chappelle said, "No, bring her back." But he didn't attack her, he didn't yell, he didn't make fun of her. He started educating the crowd on the history of black people and the police. And she said, "I'm sorry for what I said. Thank you for educating me. I was ignorant before, but I want you to know I learned from you tonight, and I won't say things like that anymore."
This is a tough discussion, but it needs to be had. And people need to learn the lessons, and we need to listen to one another. It's a tough time for this country, man.
You don't let anybody tell you you can't or to be afraid. It's okay to be afraid because you can't be brave or courageous without fear. The idea of being courageous is that even though you're scared, you just do the right thing anyway.
Today we're going to show the world that nothing will get us down. No matter what's going on, no matter how tough these times get, we hold our heads up high because we know what we're about.
You gotta take a stand.